Knossos Palace, an overview of Crete's ancient history. Knossos Palace is truly the greatest archaeological marvel in the entirety of Crete. In a dusty valley just 6 kilometers south of the Aegean Sea lies a place where archaeology has become so interconnected with mythology that myth is debated as fact. In order to fully understand this fascinating location, we need to dive deep into its intriguing history. The site has a long history of human habitation, beginning with the founding of the first Neolithic settlement at the site around 7000 BC, during the Bronze Age. Then the palace was built on the Neolithic foundations in 1900 BC and survived 600 years before it was destroyed by a fire around 1350 BC during the late Minoan period. After the fire, it was abandoned and left to erode. Fast forward to the year 1877, the site was identified and first excavated by Minos Kalakrinos. However, only 3 weeks into the excavation process, the Ottoman authorities who controlled the island forced him to stop. He was still able to uncover storage rooms and a corner part of the throne hall on the west wing of the palace. In November 1898, the last Ottoman troops withdrew from the island, marking the end of the 253 years of the Ottoman rule. After the island became independent, the locals lobbied for a law so excavations could occur. The law was passed, and the digging began at the turn of the 20th century, with Sir Arthur Evans taking more extensive excavations. The South Propylaeum. The South Propylaeum was so complex that visitors found it difficult to understand how it was made, so Sir Evans sought that the Propylaeum was reconstructed. So here is a complete remodel of the original wonder. Large pithos jars were used to contain food and wine for the royal court at the palace. The large horns in the background represent the legendary Minotaur in ancient Greek mythology, who is said to live in a labyrinth underneath the palace. This room, which was divided into 3 sections, was one of the main storage rooms, where oils, grains and wines would be stored. The Bastion of the Bull is situated near the northern entrance. The bastion was reconstructed by Evans using modern materials. He assigned a French painter to paint the columns. On the inside of the bastion is a copy of a bull leaping fresco, which depicts 3 people leaping over a bull, one person at its front, another at its back, and a third at its rear. The original painting in the Heraklion Museum is thought to be almost 3,500 years old. The Throne Room. The Throne Room was a chamber built for official courtly purposes during the 15th century BC. The 25 by 50 metre room is thought to be the very oldest intact throne room in the entirety of Europe. The walls of the throne room were decorated with frescoes of griffins and mythical beasts. These would be classed as sacred by the Minoans. A wooden seat has been placed in the antechamber of the throne room, which is a copy of the stone one in the neighbouring chamber. A lot of stonework at Knossos Palace has been eroded due to the acid rain and the time past. Originally, this block of gypsum would have looked smooth with a fine polished surface. However, it has been withered to a rough, sharp-edged rock. The Lustral Basin. The lustral basin in the northwest part of the palace is a portico to a stairwell. Although the site was much disturbed, it is evident that there was a set of doors here and a passage to the throne room. Unlike the anonymous people that came in through the west entrance, these people would have had direct contact with the ruler of the palace. Opposite the central court on the west side is the grand staircase, buried into a hill. There are 4 flights of stairs. The bottom 2 have been preserved as they were found. Other evidence believe that the residential quarters of the royal family lay in this part of the site. Knossos Palace had an efficient water system to bring in clean water. The Minoans even had an operation of hydraulic drainage and sewerage systems. The pipes used to direct water had one end narrower than the other to enhance water pressure for a smoother flow. It's safe to say this is truly the greatest archaeological marvel in the entirety of Crete. The palace stands not only as a testament to the Minoan architectural prowess, but also as a portal to the cultural, economic and ritualistic aspects of a civilization that shaped the foundations of Western history. This archaeological marvel invites visitors to explore the echoes of a bygone era preserved within its corridors and chambers. Thanks for watching this video on Knossos Palace.